I quit Instagram about 3 years ago, and today I will tell you the truth about my experience with it. I will tell you how it changed my life and whether I think it's actually worth it. So if you're interested in that, or you want to quit but you're not really sure yet, this video is definitely for you. So let's start off at the beginning. Why did I even decide to quit? I decided to quit Instagram in 2020. There was, of course, the COVID crisis. I was about 19 years old and I was just about to finish high school.
Let's go.
I've been on self-improvement even before that, but at that time I decided to level things up. I wanted to be more productive, have better mental health, be able to focus and be more present, stop comparing myself so much and do just better things with my time. I wanted to have more time for the good habits. So at that point I was spending a few hours daily on social media, including YouTube and all the other apps, and from that maybe like 45 minutes of Instagram. Of course, sometimes more, sometimes less, and it's pretty hard to recall, but it must have been something around that. I lived a pretty average life, I guess. Had a few good habits, probably a few more bad ones, some insecurities, a lot of comparison, high expectations, and the normal shitty attention span. So what happened for the first few months? I definitely missed some social interactions. Even though it might have been just sending some memes or funny videos, I definitely was less social, or I had more of a feeling of being lonely. Now practically what you should do is use some of that time and meet up with friends in real life, but unfortunately, especially probably also because I just finished school, we still had lockdowns and I soon moved to another city, I kinda struggled to meet friends in real life. Because of that, I definitely felt a bit lonelier. Another thing I experienced was fear of missing out. I was always thinking, okay, maybe I missed something, I just need to check, or I probably should check Instagram now because I don't want to miss whatever, I don't even know, but there had to be something that I'm missing. Whether it's friends doing something cool, some random news, or a new festival that I would love to go to. At the same time, I wasn't really sure what to do with my time. Now I had freed up time because I'm not on Instagram, but what am I gonna do with that time? I wasn't sure and I didn't have a real solid plan for that. I had some good habits that I wanted to try and do more often, like going outside or doing some meditation or even journaling. But the truth also is that I often just found myself going on other apps instead. I was still in the habit of going on my phone and doing something. So when I didn't go on social media, maybe I played more Clash Royale. Or maybe I went on YouTube instead, which I know is social media, but I just didn't quit YouTube.
Nice.
Now things just went on for a bit. At first, of course, I was pretty motivated to do the good habits and to do something useful with my time. But even after 1 month or so, that motivation was gone and I needed to use discipline instead. Another thing I experienced is that some friendships kind of just died. As I didn't send memes with my one friend, for example, and we kinda didn't really talk, of course that friendship naturally dies. So even with making an effort myself to be social and to talk to my friends, I realized very quickly who are my real friends and who are people I just liked to hang out with. And I'm not saying that's onto them, because I also realized who I wanted to contact, who I wanted to talk to, or who I wanted to meet and see again. And then slowly but surely you start getting used to it. So what happened in the entire first year? To be fair, especially at the beginning after my first initial motivation died down, I checked in on the app regularly. I just wanted to see if I missed something, but that happened less and less and less. So I kinda got used to it. I also got used to the FOMO, I got used to not seeing memes, which at the beginning actually was something big, because I was thinking like, I can't just let that die. But it didn't took too long until I realized seeing those memes doesn't really add anything to my life. Yeah, maybe I breathe through my nose once when I see the meme, but it's not really making my life better, usually. Because I also sometimes have been in a position in life where I felt really bored or just didn't feel too well because my mental health was going downhill again. Not in an extreme sense, but when you have those periods of life where you're not really feeling so well, or it's not really exciting and fun and happy and all that, just going onto Instagram for a few minutes can actually do make your life a bit better. And also when you're pretty lonely, which I was when I moved to a new city, just getting onto the app and exchanging a few messages, seeing some memes that my friends sent me, I must say it did feel good and it did help to feel less lonely. But overall, I sticked to no Instagram. So what else happened in that first year? Besides realizing who my true friends are, which I just talked about before, I also started to realize all this stuff on Instagram that you see, whether it's someone you know going to travel, or your friends going to the beach and sharing a picture, or some random news or memes or whatever. Everything, I realized, actually doesn't matter. It's not actually important. It doesn't actually change my life, and I'm actually not missing that much if I'm not on the app. And it's something that still remains today. That FOMO that I had, especially in the beginning, is basically almost gone. I never think about that anymore. Maybe if I miss a festival or a nice rave nearby, but that's really about it. All the other things, I don't really care. So what happened in the second year? When you've been an entire year without social media or Instagram in that specific case, you're already pretty much used to it. But what I will add, which actually also happened in the first year, is that I slowly but surely reduced my screen time. I was wasting less time on my phone. I just used it less and less, and instead I also did more of the good habits. For example, I went to the gym more often. I went just outside going for a walk more often. I started meditating and journaling, and I guess just a few more small good habits. And also when I'm on a train, for example, when everybody's on his phone, literally almost everybody's scrolling on Instagram, during those times maybe sometimes I just listen to an audiobook or some music and just look outside. And I think doing all those good habits definitely improved my life, and just being more present, using my phone less, probably also did some good things for my mental health. And therefore I'd probably say it's been worth it. I must admit that quitting Instagram or social media in general probably won't turn your life upside down, and especially it won't happen from today to tomorrow. Life is so much more than just Instagram, especially when you don't use it all day. But that's also one of the main reasons why you should actually try to quit it. What happens to almost everybody who reduces his time on social media, and what also happened to me, is that you definitely become more self-aware. You start to look at your own life instead of looking at other people's lives. You compare yourself less, and you don't put those unrealistic expectations upon yourself. You also realize a lot of truths about social media, like the people are just showing their highlights and their wins, or that all this is not important to you, which I already talked about in this video, or that Instagram keeps bad or useless friendships alive, which you actually don't really care about that much. The apps are designed to keep you hooked, and they do so much to keep you on there for as long as possible. And what do you get in return? Some validation that you realize is actually super useless and is not doing anything to add to your life, and some shitty attention span, worse mental health, and an unhealthy mindset about almost everything.
Perfect.
If you've never tried it, I would definitely encourage you to do so, but at the same time, be patient and let it work its magic, and I will almost guarantee you that you will not want to go back in the future.